I think walking and picking up fruit is also a very nice way for people of my generation and the older generation, for example, to reconnect also with the job of our grandfather. Because when I pick up the fruit, for example, I really like to think about my grandfather who was having his farm, and he was very dedicated every morning to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and picking up the eggs and picking up the figs and some apples and taking them to his house where we were hosted during the summer. And back on that days, obviously when I was only 5 or 6, I was not appreciating all these simple things. But now it makes me think that perhaps if he's up there in the sky, obviously perhaps he's also looking at me and thinking this is what I would have done. And I really appreciate much more the Jack that is doing this, and he's more in contact with the nature and more thinking about himself than becoming for example just the audience of a TV show, the audience of a TV program, which could be anything, or Facebook, or TV series, Game of Thrones, Peaky Blinders, all these things that obviously is all a watch time, is all a waste time, and you just become yourself the audience instead of becoming the protagonist of your life and thinking about feeding yourself and thinking about taking care of yourself. If you think about nowadays, it's normal going to the street and looking at people walking their dogs and feeding their dogs if they do something good, and their dogs move their tail left and right and so on. But it's very weird thinking that someone is gonna walk around and picking up berries for himself or his family or his kids or colleagues or friends and so on. Because nowadays we just think more about dogs than ourselves, and ourselves become the people that can be the audience watching and wasting their time after so many degrees and so much effort and so much studying, watching TV shows and wasting their time on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and things like this. While for the dogs instead, it's normal being fed and being well looked after. And they are the ones that are still in contact as they always been, and with their habits and their things that they've always been doing over the last few centuries, while instead we became more lazy and more adapted to the comfort instead of looking after ourselves and doing the minimum things, simple things like walking, going in places that are well oxygenated instead of being confined in the same rooms after rooms. You're